welcome you this afternoon to our advanced meeting. We are the Universal Negro Improvement Association, and we are Division 401. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for thinking enough about us to be here this afternoon. It is my honor, and when I say honor, I mean honor, to introduce to some, but to present to most, an original black man. A man that I admire from afar and up close. He is a community activist and the ultimate African nationalist. He sets the pace for black culture, black thought. We embrace him. He is one of us. He is a Ghanaian. Brothers and sisters, the next voice that you hear will be the voice of our beloved brother, freedom fighter, friend, the Honorable Manson Coulibaly, my brother.
Asante Sana, thank you very much, Sister Gwen, for those kind remarks. Man, after an introduction like that, I'm ready to go home. You know, I'm just a simple African man dealing with the context of my time. That's a quote from Amilcar Cabral. Okay. Now, I'm glad to see everybody come out, and I got a little order. You know, I'm a Capricorn. I got to get a little order to what I'm doing. And so what I'm going to do is give some history of my development, and of course a lot of other folks that were working with us. This place that y'all are sitting in is sacred ground for the brothers and sisters of that awesome nationalist and Pan-African youth movement called the Black Body. We started our work-study circle right here in this room back in 1971. And our organization would meet regularly and do work study, and we designed a lot of programs. I'm gonna take some of y'all through some literature that I prepared, you know, to give y'all an idea of that. We did a whole bunch of good positive action, you know, various programs, but you got to talk first. And so let me do this. I'm gonna pass this out, but I'm gonna ask y'all to have some discipline and not go page by page, okay? Everybody agree with that? Yeah. Don't turn the page till I ask y'all. Now, I am, in addition, and y'all can keep these, but you know, we gotta go, don't go through it. We're gonna do it page by page, okay? Here you go, sister. That's for you. Okay, does everybody have one? Okay, now here's what I would ask y'all to do. Don't go until I ask y'all to, you know, we're gonna just kind of walk through this, okay? Now, I'm Monsong Coulibaly, and this first page gives you just a little insight into what I've been involved in. This year marks 48 years for me in terms of being a CPA. Now, I'm not talking about certified public accountant, even though I was trained in accounting. Roosevelt University, that's on there. Governor State. In terms of academic training, I ran accounting departments for nonprofits. But I'm not the kind of CPA in terms of the accountant. I'm a certified public agitator. Because we got to agitate up on some self-determination and true freedom. Self-determination is the true essence of freedom. The right and responsibility to pursue our values and interests according to our definitions of what those values are, as opposed to the predator people imposing their stuff on us. So, I'm a co-founder of a Black Empowerment Youth Group in Chicago known as the Black Body from roughly 1970 to 1976. We organize high school, college, and non-student youth to manifest positive values and lifestyle. I'm also the founder of an adult-based Black empowerment group in Chicago and Jacksonville, Florida, known as Some Positive People, 1977 to the present, advocacy and cultural programs around positive values and lifestyle for our people in general. I have a degree from the African American Culture Center out in Los Angeles. We did a 30-day training social change agents back in the early 80s. And I participated in that. I've conducted workshops in various venues as an educational consultant in and out of Illinois. A lot of folk in the UNIA participated in Upward Bound. And I was an instructor of culture and history, ethnic studies for Upward Bound programs at Roosevelt University, East-West University, University of Illinois at Chicago, and also another one, Malcolm X. So a bunch of things that I've been involved with over the years. And this particular publication here, We Must Come Together, this started in this library auditorium with Black Body. It wasn't this big. I revised and did some other stuff and expanded it when I lived in Florida. But some positive people did a lot of good things like this, raising consciousness. Now, I've also been working with, in Cobra, the All African People's Revolutionary Party, Black Star Project, and UNIA ACL Division 429. Now, you can turn to the next page. Now, just to give y'all some history, this sister here, Nefertari in the white hair, she was right there with us. Brother Ubuka over there, he was with us. We had, y'all know Aki, Harun, and all them. They were working with us back in the day. To the highlighted piece, I say we had the work study circle for what we then called the cadre up and running by the beginning of February of year 1971. Here, 1971. Taking inspiration from both the then Stokely Carmichael and Dr. Bobby Wright, we began to actively fish for high school youth to participate in our youth organizing work. We would attract students from Dunbar, Metro, CVS, South Shore, Lindblom, Kenwood, Hales, DeSable, and a few others in the months to follow. Some other high school students, well, we had a bunch of high school students. And of course, we were African-centered. Y'all know Motalewa, Mashumu, Nima, Kwardina, Ima, Ayana, Tunu, Kwene, Paul. We had some good people with us, okay? Now, the photo on the next page captures the essence of our collective work study efforts. Turn the page, please. That's us, y'all. Consistent study. First, there was the word.
Yes.
And the word inspired thought. And thought inspired action, which then tested and refined the thought. That's how it moved. So we were real high on study, on work study. You got to know what you're talking about. So a library is one of the best places for us to do that. So you see Aki, y'all who know her, and you might recognize some of these people. I have my back is to y'all. And then, of course, that second photo shows that we were Pan-African. You got Brother Correga from Jamaica. You got Kwajo born here, and then you got Ikechukwu from Nigeria. We had brothers and sisters from, different parts, the world, African world, are working with us. Now, the above photo is representative of our work study circle at its very best. What we did was, just dissect information, books, articles, tapes, and all kind of things to help grow, because you got to build that consciousness, okay? Go to the next page, that's the third page. And of course, we appreciated the Honorable Marcus Garvey, the UNIAACL, and this is proof. This was in the Defender paper, Saturday, August 25th, 1973. How old was y'all in 1973? I was 22. I'm 67 now. Now, all these people here were great, conscious folks who had undying love for black people, and they, sacrificed and worked with us, okay? This is the only large group photo of the black body available. We had other members, okay? It was taken, like I said, as a karamu. We would give a big feast celebration in honor of Marcus Garvey every August 17th, back then. In fact, these are 2 leaflets. Black Body presents our first annual Marcus Garvey Karamu. This was 1973. Then here, Black Body presents its second Karamu in honor of Marcus Garvey. That's 1974. Now, we, appreciated, that knowledge and that guidance, in terms of what our brother in the movement had done. And of course, we studied a lot of our powerful people, both men and women. We had 3 divisions, a high school, college crew, and a non-student crew. And so that's that. But now, if you turn to the next page, you're going to see the Honorable Charles L. James, because he was at that Karamu back in 1973. And Hannibal Afrique, Baba Hannibal Afrique was there too, speaking. Y'all see that? You got to turn it sideways. Y'all see that? So, C.L. James of the University African Improvement Association was the main speaker for the Marcus Garvey celebration. He organized with Garvey and has been working for the uplift of African people worldwide since age 13. This was the other part of the Defender article on Marcus Garvey, Karamu, okay? And of course, the Honorable Charles James and the Honorable Hannibal Afrique are our ancestors now. And they did a great work. Now the next page, if you go to that, deals with the whole concept of culture. I'm a culture worker, y'all. My focus is cultural nationalism, which culture deals with everything. And of course, the Honorable Marcus Garvey, Universal Negro Improvement Association, African Communities League, dealt with cultural nationalism. They dealt with our culture. And so we understand that that's important, okay? Now, go to the next page. Some of y'all might have this. Some of you should have this. I'm a substitute in the schools, and I'm around the young folks a lot, and I be trying to drop that knowledge. You know what I'm saying? And this was a piece. I be designing curriculum materials, for our whole people, adults and youth. And so this was something that I came across and kind of put it together so that they can understand the contradiction. And it's humorous, but it ain't. You know what I'm saying? Because they're saying that in another 100 years, we're going to be Michael Jackson. So, now go to the next page. And of course, Dr. Welsing, with her great mind and information, gave us this diagram of white supremacy. And so I included that. And of course, we're trying to vote the mayor out and all that other, stuff. Now, the next pages are dealing with photos of some of the folks that shaped me. L. Hodge, Malik El Shabazz, Malcolm X. I remember at Dunbar when I was a sophomore. I remember reading in 1965 that little article when they killed him. But how did you guess him and King and them, okay? Now, I met Nina Simone. In 1969, I was a Luke Junior College student, which is now Harold Washington. the Black Student Union under the leadership of James L. Satterfield, a great leader. You know, we took a bus down to Cairo, Illinois, to help Reverend Charles Cone. Now, he just died. But back in '69, I bear witness, y'all, I saw a machine gun on top of the police station. Nina Simone was down there protesting with us, and that's how I met her. Turning the page, you'll see Kwame Ture, Stokely Carmichael. He was one of my main inspirations. He said in 1970, African youth must be organized with a clear ideological perspective. I'm sitting in the audience, something in my head, bing! And for the most part, I've been out here ever since. You know, not perfectly, but, you know, but this is my guy. Now, going to the next page, the Honorable Fannie Lou Hamer of Mississippi. Reading about her and her great courage. I mean, they used to beat this woman. And you know, down there at the time, in that old Democratic Party, racists, they just didn't do the sister right, and she just kept on going, you know? So she's a strong influence. Next page, Dr. Bobby Wright, who most of us know, and who he taught at the original university. This brother, awesome. Clinical psychologist, freedom fighter, Garvey, but let me not get ahead of myself. So he taught us, you know, over at the university. Next page, Rua Sanyama Chiri, who your president, Marua Farrow, is named in honor of. My own son, Marua Thomas.
He named
Named you?
I was named by him.
Oh, Baru. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's cool. Right on. So it's at least 2 or 3.
2 of us. That's all.
It's just 2.
Two of us.
It's probably somewhere else.
Just 2 of us.
Right. And I was
hoping. Little
hoping.
more the second.
Yeah, I was hoping he would come, you know, but they just got back from a trip.
Right,
You know.
right.
So this brother taught us all about Kwame Nkrumah, Sekou Touré, and, you know, the African scene, and he was a Pan-African heavy dude. And then, if you go to the next page, Honorable Charles L. James. This brother was awesome. Y'all know it. Oh yeah, that brother, this brother, you know. And I remember visiting him and his wife over there on Wabash. And they, you know, I sat at their feet, and I had the tape. And while I was living in Florida, I let one of the Muslim brothers use it, and it tore or something. You know, I lost it. I wish I still had it, but I do have Mr. James on a cassette tape in a Black Body program. Wasn't that the Sisterhood reception in the Tiki Room back in 1974? You know, Brother James with that barrel chest, he was just thunder. You know, that was an awesome brother. So he's an inspiration. And then you have Dr. Maulana Karenga of the organization US, who has definitely given me a greater sense of identity, purpose, and direction. This brother's deep. Then you have Queen Mother Moore out of New York. And you know, she has been in the movement, you know, forever in terms of her contributions. Now, I escorted her down the aisle at Dunbar. We had, Rua Chiri had a big women's program. She was probably there, you know, a big women's program, and Queen Mother Moore was there, and I had to escort her to the state. Plus, I saw her out in Los Angeles at the reparations State of the Race Conference. You know, that's an awesome sister. And then you have Dr. Amos Wilson. Now, for the have y'all seen this book?
Yep.
This brother here, you talking about a Garveyite. This brother, Amos Wilson, it's called African-Centered Consciousness versus the New World Order, Garveyism in the Age of Globalism. Now, he was a clinical psychologist and just multidisciplinary. In fact, this book, have y'all seen this?
Yes.
It takes a study group to deal with this. But Amos Wilson was a Garveyite and builds on it. staunch brother, you know, and definitely get this, because he has a whole thing on, you know, what he thinks